watching UnrealEntGaming. This is Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans. Make sure you subscribe to UnrealEntGaming and push the like button for me. Or else you'll be Hakai. Not Beerus. You know how this works. Make sure you enable all notifications on the channel and watch the entire video all the way through. And don't forget to follow UnrealEntGaming on both Instagram and Twitter. That's enough! On with the video.
So with many people seemingly divided, with some people being very excited about the upcoming Dragon Ball Super superhero movie, with other fans appearing as though they are very hypercritical on what this movie is going to be about and what it can ultimately present, as we now know that yes indeed Gohan will take center stage with Piccolo in battling against both Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, as all the while in the meantime it would only appear as though on Beerus' planet both Goku and Vegeta are going to have some business to settle with Broly, but by the time it's all said and done we now understand that there will be at least one more villain featured in the movie, which ultimately begs the million-dollar question: is this going to be a rehashed villain that we've seen in the past be done before, such as Perfect Cell, or are we bound to be in for a massive surprise with the introduction of a brand new villain that we've never seen be done before in Dragon Ball Super? As a quick little reminder before diving deeper into this discussion, if of course you guys just so happen to be new to the channel and just so happen to love Dragon Ball and anime, then be sure to go on over and smash that subscribe button and give this video a big fat thumbs up by smashing that like button down below if you're not only excited to see what the future holds for Dragon Ball Super, but also to see what the future holds for this upcoming movie, as joining me right now to further discuss the concept of what the final acts of this movie could potentially be about is my good friend and Dragon Ball YouTuber Super Saiyan Paul. Now Paul, me and you have spoken off camera about this so many times. I for one am not a fan of bringing back the concept of Perfect Cell, because although the overall idea of seeing Cell come back would be really cool, because out of all of the villains that we've seen in the past before, and not only was he one of the most powerful ones, but he was by far one of the most intelligent fighters that we know of, because of course he was able to utilize and execute the powers of Frieza, Vegeta, Goku, Tien, Piccolo, all to the best of his abilities during the events of the Cell games. But as cool as it would be to see Perfect Cell be a thing in this movie, which as of this recording right now, we don't definitively know on whether or not it's going to be Cell or maybe a Perfect Cell-like being, but the only reason why I wouldn't want to see Perfect Cell come back is because number one, it's a rehash. Been there, done that. We've seen that with so many other characters before, and with some it makes sense, and even to an extent it does make sense to some degree to bring back Cell, but for what if we know that by the end, to some capacity, he's going to be destroyed by either Goku or Vegeta or Broly or Gohan? So yes, the idea of introducing a quote rematch against Gohan would be cool. Hell, even going as far as to see Perfect Cell versus Broly would be something of a dream fight, but I think if they want to do something different, they should include a Cell-like being that is completely different than what we've remembered Cell being like in Dragon Ball Z. So instead, they, as in Dr. Hito and the organization behind this, ultimately end up introducing a brand new weapon that they've been hiding this entire time, which could ultimately possess and have that of the genetic makeup of Majin Buu, Goku, Vegeta, etc. But I think that by introducing Perfect Cell and having him come back again would be a bit too much, unless of course they plan on having Cell somehow survive, which to be honest I really don't see here. So I think if they're going to run with the idea of introducing Perfect Cell, it's going to be a bit lackluster, because we know that to some extent he's going to be destroyed by the end. So I'm in favor for a brand new villain, but I want to know, what do you think? Along with all of you guys watching this, do you guys want to see Perfect Cell come back, or would you rather be on the side of introducing a brand new android, a brand new villain as a whole, and then kind of have the movie go from there by having this ultimate new villain battle against our heroes?
So for me, if we were to get Cell returning, I feel like that would be pretty lackluster. Like you said before in previous videos, that he would just show up to get one-shotted. I don't see him becoming part of like the Super Saiyan gang and friends where it's just he's another fighter for Universe 7. I don't see that happening. And on top of that, he's been used like in his time before, I think he's been used up so much that I don't think he has the same stature that Frieza does in terms of the history of the Saiyans, because that was able to be doubled down on in the Broly movie. We kind of saw that dating back years ago. Cell doesn't really have that. Technically, he's a baby compared to Frieza, so it doesn't really make sense. But if we were to see some kind of biological android come out of like the chamber, whatever was pumping up in that trailer, I feel as though a fresh take on it, let's say like the way we saw Android 21 show up in Dragon Ball FighterZ, she became super popular. So if we got something like that, I feel as though in combination with what the concepts were with Super Android 13, that would be pretty lit. Now, what that would look like, I have no idea, because these two, in my opinion, Gamma 1 and 2, they have some pretty plain looking Android designs. If they were just like pieces of something bigger, like the same way they had it with Android 13, where it had something that cool, because Android 13 looked like a Saiyan himself in that term of design, where he was when he was super. So it was like, if we have something in that nature, I feel like I'd be down with that. But if we were to see Cell return and he was like insanely powerful, let's go for the term Golden Cell. Let's go with that in terms of power level. Having someone like Broly's caliber having to take that on, that would make good for a final battle. But after that, that would be such a wash. I feel like that wouldn't add anything of substance to the future. I feel as though that wouldn't even be really what the fandom wants right now. I think a fresh take on a character, something brand new, and something in terms of like similar more so to Super Android 13 would fit anything better than what Cell could bring right now.
See, now I think that's subjective by adding in elements from Super Android 13 in terms of having this new enemy emerge or this new android emerge, and he has to go get, you know, parts from Gamma 1 and 2 in order for him to be complete. It would be kind of similar to Cell, but not really. I really enjoyed what we saw go down involving 13 with the concept of 13 having to take pieces of his squad and the other androids to make himself even more complete than what he was. It was unique, it was different, and quite frankly, I think that a lot of people did have fun during that time, as I don't even mind seeing Gamma 1 and 2 fuse to create Gamma 3, because I think that would make sense as well, but something tells me that by the end of this film, and I'm not a fan for this, but something tells me that by the end of this film, or at least at some point in the middle as we near the end, Gamma 1 and 2 are either going to side with our heroes, or they're eventually enough going to join the squad in becoming buddies with everybody, and I'm really not a fan of that because we've seen that happen time and time and time and time and time and time again with Maris, with presumably what may occur with Granola if he ends up living. I can see Goku and Vegeta kind of parting ways with him to say, okay, well, see you later kind of thing, you know what I mean? They've done it with Broly. We have other allies elsewhere, such as the Universe 6 Saiyans, Hit, Jiren, Beerus, stuff like that. So if we were to get a villain, or at least in this case, whatever the opposition is, they should follow down the route in being similar to Frieza, in being similar to Goku Black, in being similar to Merge Zamasu, hell, in being similar to Moro. No redeeming factors, no redemption at all, but instead maintaining who they truly are as individuals, and that is evil by nature, or at least have the main baddie of this film just be purely evil. If you want to have Gamma 1 and 2 kind of be redeemed, I think it's best suited to kind of have them be killed off by the main enemy, you know what I mean? But even then, let's just say if this is a brand new entity, right, a brand new android, then how exactly would you go about this? Because not for nothing, this movie has the potential, hence the keyword potential, to probably have one of the best endings of a Dragon Ball film ever. And the reason why I say that is because for the first time, if they want to have it be that way, you can have Goku, Vegeta, and Broly work together alongside maybe Piccolo and Gohan to fight off against the opposition. Now think about that for a second, right? We have Broly, who was always known as going up against our heroes, instead now teaming up with them to fight against the opposition, right? So in your opinion, how would you dictate the narrative going forward if, and only if we were to have a very super OP'd villain at the end with our heroes stepping forward in wanting to save the day?
Based on what I've seen from the trailers thus far, these two give me a really goofy vibe in itself, where I do see them becoming like part of Goku and friends, which I really don't want either. But if it was to come down to, let's say, the new villain that shows up, whoever it may be, wants to absorb these two, or even for temporarily, like just try to aim for them, I think that would fit the storyline. Would I want to see them become friends with the rest of the squad? Not really, because like you said, there's so many people on this squad. But it is true to Dragon Ball nature. Like even back in the day, Goku went from being by himself to recruiting everybody, like down to Yamcha to the squad. But if these two aren't really as evil as they say, we may be seeing that. I just don't see like there's any room for any more characters, because already, that's why we kind of want to see this movie with Gohan and Piccolo taking the mantle, because there are so many characters. Are you really able to develop them as well as you can? I mean, that's because this becomes the Goku and Vegeta show in and of itself, and giving them this time to shine, giving them a chance to get a power buff. I mean, wrapping the story around Gohan would really work, but adding more characters to the roster on the good guy side, it doesn't really give them that much development. You only have so much time, and if us seeing them in the future, like, we already have Jocko with a goofy ass character, so it's like, would you want to see another two in that type of nature? I feel like they would give up that vibe if they came off to the team. So I think they should get crushed or destroyed or become part of something bigger, something new, something fresh, and just leave it at that. And if they do survive, maybe it'd be for the kids just to see that, hey, they're not dead. Then keep them off somewhere else. Give them another mission somewhere else as a background character. I think that's what's going to happen to those two. But for them to, like, let's say, become good guys, I don't want them to become like good and become mainstays. I feel like we already got that character relief with Jocko, Maris, Granola, all these new guys coming to the floor. It's just not enough, and they wouldn't even be useful characters in and of itself, because if this is a movie featuring them with being the bad guys and there's one above them, they're not going to show up in the Tournament of Power. They're not going to be the ones that they call to like fight alongside everybody. They have so many other characters with more lore. They're just going to be washed and sent to the side.
Well, not just that, but I think that it would be awesome to see for the first time on the big screen Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. Hell, if they want to push the barriers, give us Ultra Ego Vegeta, which I know is a manga exclusive as of right now, but either way, to see that actually on the big screen, Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, Ultra Ego Vegeta, full powered Super Saiyan Broly, we have Ultimate Piccolo, and Ultimate Gohan with his new potential unleashed, that would be an ass-kicking finale to see all of them work together to fight off against the new enemy. Hell, you can even throw Gamma 1 and 2 in there only to have them be killed by the opposition, but there's no doubt that this movie has, again, the potential to have one of the best finales ever, only because it's to my understanding that Gohan and Piccolo will not be able to get the job done, right? And we all know that Goku and Vegeta and Broly are just not going to be spending their entire time on Beerus's planet training, so something's bound to catch their attention. Something is bound to bring them back to Earth, right? And to see that, would that only then feature Goku and Vegeta and Broly in action to go as far as to save Piccolo, to go as far as to save Gohan, to go as far as to save Pan, right? So preferably, what would be your ideal ending? And to all of you guys out there watching this, I also want to know what your preferred ending for this movie would be, if of course we understand now that the enemy is either a brand new android, or at least an android or an entity that seeks out the parts of Gamma 1 and 2, because I don't think it's going to be Perfect Cell, and if it is, then I hope that they end up giving him a brand new personality, a brand new transformation as a whole, because to see Perfect Cell come back the way he was, and to see him kind of go about this narrative in sticking true to what made him Perfect Cell to begin with and gloating about how perfect he is, then it really makes no sense, because how perfect can you be in going up against warriors that are much more powerful than you, right? So what is your ideal ending and why? That is something that I am very curious to know about.
If it was up to my preference, I would love that type of ending that you just mentioned, a three-man team of those specific Saiyans as a follow-up to the Broly movie. However, I feel like that's just so much power for something of the caliber against Red Ribbon's army's newest enemy or newest android, especially being on planet Earth. Do you know how much power is going to be outputted there, how much destruction? I know we had that in the Broly movie, but they're up in like Antarctica or wherever in the glaciers, but having that here on Earth, I feel as though when they're bringing out that much power, we got to be somewhere in space. And for them to do that, I think that'd be so wild, but it would be just too much for the Red Ribbon Army. I don't think this is a big enough threat, because specifically, like you said, we don't want to see them again. Red Ribbon has been so outdated, where them coming back, it's humans bringing back something else. Yes, even if it's a new biological monster such as Cell, I think as though this should be in the realm of Gohan, Piccolo, and Gotenks, and it's more for the kids in terms of that type of fighting. I feel as though Broly and the rest of them, even if it's Ultra Ego and MUI underneath their belts, I think they're going to keep that to the side and save that for later, even if it's just a teaser we might see with them training, maybe an Easter egg for that, because I feel as though they're going to save that for Season 2 of whatever Dragon Ball Super has to offer. That's where they should save that for, because at that point in time, when you're in Act 3 of the movie and we've already paid to see this, and we've already gotten all this hype, that a 3v1 with that level would have to have some serious meaning, and I feel as though we're not going to have that serious meaning with Gamma 1 and 2 really in the play. We're not going to get the most out of it, because with the Broly movie, with all of the fathers and that whole lore in the very beginning, that was established pretty solid. That's what made the ending, the final part of the act of Act 3 and everything, so solid. But for this one, the first two acts, it was them building up a new android, and it's just, even if it's Cell returning, I don't feel like it's gonna be enough to justify 3 super-powered Saiyans at that level on Earth fighting this guy. That would be awesome, but at the same time, I feel like it's overkill, and I feel as though they're gonna save that opportunity for another time, even if it's another movie at that case. But what I would want to see is ideally that, but what I think we're gonna end up seeing is more so maybe Goku, Vegeta showing up to help them somewhat, or even Gohan, Piccolo, and Gotenks getting the job done, because I feel as though this is more for the kids, if anything.
No, definitely, and I think that this ending once again has the potential to really be meaningful in a sense where finally we can find out if this movie is going to open the doors for Dragon Ball Super to enter the end of Z, ending with Goku meeting Oob, with everyone basically being a lot older than what they were, seeing everyone split off and seeing everyone develop in their own unique way. I think that would be cool, but to that, I think that with the concept idea of Perfect Cell being a thing, I don't want to see that, because by the end of the movie, we kind of already know by now that he's going to be destroyed, so you only brought back Perfect Cell for the sake of nostalgia, and that's it, right? Ooh, a Perfect Cell versus Gohan rematch. I mean, okay, for what? Especially if Perfect Cell is going to get such a huge buff that it's only going to prompt Goku, Vegeta, and Broly to come to Earth to save everybody, right? Kind of a cool little idea you have going on here, but I think it's a lot better and would be a lot better if whatever is inside this giant cocoon down below within the Red Ribbon Laboratory just so happens to be a brand new android or enemy that we've never seen before. But in the end, I want to go on ahead and get your thoughts as to what you guys think and what you guys want and how you guys personally feel about this upcoming movie, especially with the delay, because I'm happy there is a delay, and I think that this gives them time to polish up the film and really set their ducks up in a row to where they could actually give us one of the best Dragon Ball products that they possibly can, but that's up to them, and I guess we'll see what happens going from there. So again, thank you all so much for watching, guys. Thank you all so much for your time. If you guys are unfamiliar with Super Saiyan Paul, be sure to go on ahead and subscribe to his channel. I will leave a link to his channel located down in the description box below. Again, Paul, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all so much for watching. If you guys are new, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button down below, tune back in for more, and we'll be seeing each and every single one of you down in the comment section below and in the next video. Take it easy, guys, and have a terrific day. Peace.
Hello. Did you know that you can stay up to date with the latest Dragon Ball content by simply subscribing to UnrealEntGaming?
Also, don't forget to follow on these social media platforms, you sexy son of a bitch.
Roshi.
Silent Cell, me and the fans are having a moment. That's right. I know what you want. Extra long, thick Dragon Ball content. Quality reviews with flawless editing. Yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? You dirty bitch.
Roshi, the fuck?
God damn it, I need them to subscribe, Cell.
And we're demonetized.
Yeah, screw it. Let's cut to the video.